So I'm going to start this episode by admitting something today. I'm a bit of a fool. Last month, I was doing some work around, well, I won't get into the nitty gritty, but I ended up being in a property auction, had a break, and I went out to get a drink, coffee shop. So there I am, stuck behind a guy in the queue. Guess what he's doing? It was faded jeans, bubbled fleece. It's arguing over 20p. They charged him 20p more for oat milk. I remember thinking, what the hell, mate? Why are you getting stressed over 20p? I felt superior. I felt richer than him. And then I saw him walk out, get into his 15-year-old Volvo beaten up, and he drove up the road and parked in the auction, the property auction. I was like, okay, interesting. So I'm going to see him again, aren't I? I got I don't like coffee, so I got a hot chocolate. And I proceeded to go back to work. Went in the back, did what I had to do, come around the front, did a bit of socializing, as you would call it. And then there he was. And during that 5 minutes, 3 properties came up. And guess who was the buyer? Mr. Bubbled Fleece Faded Jacket. So I realized at that point that there's hidden millionaires amongst us who have a wealth filter. I haven't built that yet. So today I want to talk about the invisible wealthy and the people who are winning the game while we're all just performing for the crowd. Let's have a look at the master disguise. So Arthur, we've got Arthur, not King Arthur, just Arthur. He lived in a normal street, in a normal town, in the north. Normal job, factory, 40 years. When he passed away in late 2005, his neighbours expected a small estate. They were wrong. Arthur left 2.4 million to a local children's hospital. No one even knew, even his brother, that he had more than a couple of grand in the bank. So how does a factory worker build a top 1% fortune without anyone noticing? And why is it that people we think are rich are usually just one missed paycheck away from crisis? We're going to look at Arthur's secret scorecard in a second. But before we do that, there is some reports that I've been looking at. So Barclays New Frontiers of Wealth report and expenditure data here. So data here shows something fascinating. In 2026, the middle class in the UK spends roughly 18% of their income on status signaling, showing that, I don't know what name this is, but it's Gucci, mate. It's Gucci. Things like car leases, designer logos, and prestige gym memberships. This is an invisible tax that the truly wealthy simply refuse to pay. If you look at the HMRC wealth distribution data, the people with the highest net worth often live in houses valued below what they could technically afford. They aren't house proud. They are balance sheet proud. The Volvo factor. Volvo, I'm going to dive in deep on that guy. I couldn't believe your houses is bought. Like, you're looking at 320 grand for one and 200, and this is cash purchases. So the guy's got money, but he's arguing over 20p. What is going on in this world? So, okay, Experian luxury vehicle financing study. 60% of luxury cars on UK roads today are financed. This means the guy in the BMW doesn't own the car, the bank does. Conversely, the WealthX World Ultra Wealth report shows that the most common car brand for self-made millionaires is actually Toyota and Honda. I have a Honda Civic. Why aren't I a millionaire? What? What is this? We are living in a world of high income, low net worth performers. If you see someone with the latest plate and the loudest watch, if you've been focusing on this season, you'll be interested to see a number of those coming up there. The data says they are likely more stressed out about money than you are. Was I signaling there? Or was I just using them as props? Interesting. So twist here is going to be the wealth game versus a status game. There is a paradox. To look rich, you have to spend money. To be rich, you have to save money. You cannot do both at the same time. The minute you start spending, you're no longer rich. Every time you buy something to prove your success, you're actually moving one step further away from the very success you're trying to show off. The invisible wealthy have a superpower. They don't care what you think of them. They've replaced external validation with internal security. They would rather have 100k in an ISA that nobody can see than a 100k car on their front drive that everybody can see. And there's 3 habits to steal from this interaction that I've been experiencing. So there's an invisibility rule. Firstly, never buy a depreciating asset to impress people you don't like. They're just going to hate you more because you've got something that they don't have. It's a lose-lose situation. The reverse flex. So from my story earlier, like Arthur, we call him Arthur, he didn't save his money. He bought his freedom. Every £50 he didn't spend on a fancy dinner was 2 hours of his life he didn't have to sell to a boss later. Habit 3 is wealth is what you don't see. Wealth is a car not purchased, the diamonds not brought, the first class seats not taken. It's the absence of spending. I went back to that coffee shop a week later. We had to do some final tallying up and stuff. And I saw that guy in the bubbled fleece again. I didn't feel superior this time. And I felt like, let me have a conversation with him. I'm going to save that for another episode. We did have a conversation. I felt like a student. I realized that the 20p was saving. The 20p he was saving wasn't because he was cheap. It was because he understood the value of a pound better than I did. He was a master in disguise. In a world of performers, it's very rare to see that. And it's good to be able to get insight which can help you to better yourself. Stop trying to look like the millionaire on the screen. Start acting like the millionaire in the bubbled fleece and the faded jeans and the old Volvo. One of them is a character, the other is free. Stay invisible, stay wealthy. I'm Zulf and this is your Money Scorecard Working for Yourself podcast. You know what? We are doing it. We've made it to episode 13. Well done. Thank you for joining me. I think the next one we need to wrap up on this scorecard because I feel this season was a deep dive into some details I wanted to share with you from reports I've been looking at. It took a lot of research and like numbers and things, but I kind of filtered out what I liked and what fitted with what I wanted to speak about. I'm going to leave links to show notes for each of these sources that I looked at so you can have a look at them as well. It's interesting to keep an eye on this and the pulse on this. But I think in the next episode, the final score, what is that going to be? What's one question you're stuck on right now? Contact me on zulftalks.com. You could drop me a message on Insta or email me there. If you want, you could even put your answer below this episode in the comment section. I read through every single one and it helps me shape the shows. So it'll be good to hear from you. It would be really good if you can leave a review wherever you're listening to this. The show resources are available at zulftalks.com. You can also sign up to the mailing list there, which will allow you to get information to help you on your journey working for yourself.
Working for yourself. I know you love it, working for yourself, 'cause I love it too, working for yourself. Zulf talks about it, making it easy for you. Working for yourself, go be your own boss, working for yourself. Zulf will help you along, working for yourself. Powered by trusted creators, zulftalks.com.